It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for some football talk, baby.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. It's about time, man. It really is. And the draft just happened. We had some solid picks. Some people may be happier than others, but we'll determine that. Greg Cherry, Matty Laws, and our special guest, Big Baller G, here to talk all things draft. As both the NFL and WWE draft, much like last year, took place over the course of last uh, weekend, really, like Thursday through Monday,
Yeah.
basically that took place. So let's talk about the NFL draft. And
I got a quarterback. I got a team.
yeah,
We drafted a whole fucking team, essentially.
I mean, you kind of had to, didn't you?
I mean, we addressed issues that we had, and I just hope Bo Nix isn't Paxton Lynch.
Yeah, but Bo Nix is a solid pick from Oregon. We'll see if he translates to the NFL. One of the picks I'm most excited about for you guys is somebody who I was excited about in college, and that was running back from Notre Dame, Audric Estime. He was an absolute
222 pounds.
he
That dude is a fucking tank.
He is a tank, and he was a tank in college. And it's going to be interesting to see how he translates. If in fact, like the offensive line holds up, I think Estime will do wonders for you guys.
We also went and got Bo Nix's number one wide receiver in Troy Franklin. That was a huge pull for us in the draft.
I'm surprised he fell to the fourth, but you know, if other
I had him going in the first round. So I'm very surprised to see him fall that far.
Yeah, but not a bad draft for you guys. I mean, you got a quarterback, you got two wide receivers, a running back, you got a center,
big beefy center.
Yeah,
and we also got that kid out of Missouri, that cornerback.
Yep, Chris Abrams, Dream, and Jonah Ellis from Utah, edge rusher.
And another, he is a lot smaller for edge rusher, but he had 12 sacks last season.
Yeah, so
he can get to the ball.
He can get to the ball, and that's the big thing. Now, as far as the Steelers draft goes,
yes,
I mean the NFL experts essentially rated the Steelers having one of the best drafts of the entire NFL.
Yeah,
which is very positive. We addressed a lot of needs.
Yes.
Focusing mainly on the offensive line, which is where we needed it.
Yes, we did. We got another Troy on the team.
We do have another Troy, and the funny thing is, he was a big Steelers fan, and he was talking a lot about how he enjoyed watching the Steelers grow up, and
here
he is probably going to be a starter on the offensive line.
I mean, you guys drafting a Troy in the first round, that has a history of turning out really well for y'all.
I mean, Steelers named Troy have a pretty good reputation, especially around these parts.
Yeah.
We also got Zach Frazier from West Virginia, another offensive lineman at center.
Big offensive lineman.
Listen, we have been working on a patchwork offensive line really since before Ben retired, before Pouncey retired even.
Yeah, I was about to say, once you guys lost Pouncey, that center position really has been utility guy after utility guy after utility guy.
I mean, Mason Cole was not the answer.
No.
So,
we started off with one Wilson. Now we got three Wilsons on the team.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of Wilson jerseys floating around here.
Hey, yeah. I got a Broncos one that you guys just need to, I don't know, acid wash it so the orange turns to yellow. A lot of teams really did use this draft to do what they needed to. They addressed a lot of teams addressed a lot of their issues. Unless you're a Falcons fan.
or a Bills fan. They traded out of the first round, which seemed very odd to me.
Yeah.
To the team that has beat their ass in consecutive playoff games.
Yeah. It's very, very confusing.
But honestly, Greg, you probably agree with me. Same with Maddie. Yeah, we might have gotten some good draft picks, but it all comes down to how well they can play in the NFL when it comes to the big leagues.
Yeah, and I know Arthur Smith, coming from the Falcons, has been given a lot of grief about how things went down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But, the way I'm thinking about it, the offense, and I don't want to jinx myself for saying this, the offense can't be worse than it was under Matt Canada.
Honestly, I think this might be
to your tight end last year.
This might be our best year since Matt Canada came on as offensive coordinator. So, and I mean, we did a lot of off-season pickups too. So it all has to just culminate onto the field to see how everybody does with each other. Now that Russell Wilson's going to be starting quarterback, and then Justin Fields is going to be backup quarterback. So
yeah, I mean, unless things change during the course of the preseason.
Again, I can totally see you guys shooting with Justin Fields as your starter this year, for the sole fact that you guys aren't paying Russ.
Yeah, we need to.
You guys don't have anything tying you to having Russ as your starter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, Tomlin said he's going to be the starter. So unless something happens, and then Justin Fields will come in and be starter. But then you also have to think about running backs. I don't know if you saw, Greg, but we haven't picked up Najee's 5th-year option yet. So
yeah, the thing with running backs in the NFL, it's like unless you are an incredibly successful superstar, your shelf life as a running back is not very long.
Yeah.
So unless
these last couple of years have really proved that.
Yeah, unless you have like a Marshawn Lynch, like even somebody like a Frank Gore, if you don't have somebody like that as your running back, and also the offensive line needed help, maybe that will help Najee break out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it starts with the offensive line. If you cannot get that offensive line to protect your quarterback, protect what's going on in the backfield, it doesn't matter who you have back there.
Yeah.
So I'm
Josh
hoping.
Josh says or Nick Chubb. Unfortunately,
The
last
thing with
season, I hope last season's an anomaly, because I really want Nick Chubb to be one of those long-term running backs.
The thing is that's not his first injury to his leg.
That leg.
Yeah, and granted, it was very much a fluky thing, and it was a nasty injury. And I'm glad they didn't show it on TV. I saw a replay at one point
which
later.
Is crazy. It's crazy because 9 out of 10 injuries, the NFL's like, come on, boys, replay that to death.
Yeah, but
this time they were like, even I don't want to see that again.
I mean, when you it was a really haunting thing when you heard the entire crowd react to it and then go silent.
They showed it once, and then you heard the commentators go, for Chubb's, I think they said for Chubb's sake, we're not going to show that.
That was the Steelers game, wasn't it?
I believe it was against you guys.
Okay.
That was the Monday night game.
I remember Chubb's getting hurt. I just can't remember if it was against
I saw the gears turning in your head, G. You were just sitting there going,
yeah.
I think I know the exact play.
Yeah. You know what really pisses me off? So when TJ got hurt during the season, I had somebody on Facebook that I'm no longer friends with. He's a Ravens fan, and he literally wished TJ to get hurt during that game. And sure enough, what fucking happened? TJ Watt got fucking hurt.
And then the Steelers still beat them.
That was
I was
right
like, how
after
can you
the
wish
Browns
injury
injury,
upon
right?
somebody?
And that's the thing. It's like I understand that like there are a lot of fans of football teams that take their fandom too far. And yeah, Josh, like we don't want Chubb to get hurt. Like
Yeah.
we hope Chubb doesn't produce. Like we hope he gets like taken down, but we don't want him to be injured and like out for the season. Like that's not good for like humanity. That's not good for the game of football. We don't want to see injuries. We want to see our team succeed, but we want to see them healthy. You know, you got to have some sort of human compassion when it comes to this because they're all people. Yes, they get paid a lot of money to play a game that we get to cheer them on for, but they're still, at the end of the day, people.
Yeah.
And you know, I can't imagine. Like I broke my leg when I was a kid. Worst experience of my life. So I can't imagine what he went through because I'm sure he like blew an ACL or worse.
Yeah.
Oh no! So the Chubb injury, I believe, was a completely torn ACL, completely torn MCL. I think there was partial tear to the PCL and torn meniscus. So it was almost an identical injury to what he suffered in college.
Yeah. And the fact that it's happened twice to him is it's a scary thing because that could limit him in the future. Like I know he'll probably wear like a brace or something. I don't know. Can you wear like full on braces when you're playing football?
I think so.
Some kind of protection,
Because I think JJ had like a knee or an ankle injury and then went out there with the full-fledged like RoboCop knee.
Speaking of the Ravens, they can suck it because we stole Patrick Queen from them. So our defense is even more stacked than ever.
I mean, and the Chiefs went out and robbed the entire draft by trading with the Bills to get the fastest wide receiver in combine history.
And I know we got somebody up from the north that people don't like talking about from that one state. For the Steelers, Roman Wilson from the state up north.
Yeah. Listen,
I saw some of his highlights. That kid is fast, though.
Listen, if he plays well, I can forgive him for his sins. I forgive Troy for playing for USC. So, if he produces for the Steelers, I can forgive him for playing for Michigan.
I'm just glad that we weeded out all our problems during the offseason.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Like, we picked everything out, you know.
I still think that Arthur Smith is going to lead you guys to barely a 50-50 season.
I mean, he's under Tomlin now, so Tomlin knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Tomlin should hopefully keep him in line.
Yeah. Because Tomlin don't play that shit. Like Tomlin will give you a chance, but if you mess up, that's pretty much it for you.
Yeah.
He gave Deontay Johnson chance after chance after chance, and
Deontay, much like his playing career, could not hold on to the ball. So, we're looking at, as he mentioned, Zach Zinter. I'm looking at the Browns drafts, and they did hit a couple of their needs, according to the NFL. They hit defensive tackle and a linebacker from Ohio State and Mississippi State, respectively. They did not get a running back in the draft. I don't know if they signed. It's not showing me who they signed up, like undrafted up.
I know we signed a couple people undrafted too.
Yeah, so. I mean, all teams sign people undrafted before they make their 53-man roster.
Yeah.
They did get a wide receiver from Louisville.
Okay.
Also a quarterback from South Dakota and a defensive tackle from Cincinnati. So, I mean, not
how long
a bad.
How long until we see that quarterback step up as the Week 4 starter?
Oh, cornerback, not quarterback.
Oh, I thought you said quarterback.
I thought he said quarterback to cornerback. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work because what year is freaking Deshaun Watson on his contract, on his guaranteed money contract?
his third year, maybe
I
second
think
year.
it's the third. It's at least the third.
I'm not. Yeah, I want to say third year if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure Maddie's looking it up right now.
Yes, I am. Okay. So he is in year 2 of a 5-year deal. Yeah, this would be his third season under this contract.
Okay. I mean, he did good with the Texans, but like ever since he got to the Browns, I feel like he really hasn't been producing. But that's just the Steelers fan being
That can go
biased.
many ways.
Actually, not every team signed an undrafted. The Baltimore Ravens did not sign anybody that wasn't drafted. Or neither did the Browns. That's very weird.
Well, I think the Ravens trust in the team that they have. They were just going to try to build on it in the draft.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's surprising to me that the Patriots didn't, considering how their season went last year.
Well,
same with the Jets.
The Patriots, I think, are gonna have to like rebuild. They're gonna be in rebuilding seasons for a good minute.
Oh darn!
I know, right?
You guys just have a habit of making Green Bay fans suffer.
We do?
No, Detroit. My bad. JD3's comment.
I was going to say, the Steelers, the last time we played Green Bay in a big game, didn't go well for us.
No.
Yeah, the Steelers actually signed a free agent quarterback.
Yeah, I saw that.
John Plumlee. I'm not familiar with him at all.
Yeah.
When it comes to
the draft, like I'll pay attention to who we draft, and then I'll go back and like type their name in and look up highlights to see how well they do, and then try to like, okay, are they gonna work with the Steelers like offense, like with that mentality? So
yeah.
Yeah, I was watching some of the draft too. Them Lion fans were fucking wild.
Detroit was a fantastic spot to get the draft.
Yeah.
Green Bay gets it this next year.
Oh, really?
Speaking of Detroit jumping Green Bay again.
Yeah. So I noticed one thing that I noticed as a college fan. Sam Hartman of Notre Dame was taken as an undrafted free agent. Which I guess that goes to show how much faith they had in him coming out of the draft. And it's very weird to me seeing Sam Hartman go undrafted when many years ago, who was it? He played for Notre Dame and he went 4-8, and he was still drafted by the Browns. His name escapes me. That's driving me nuts. DeShone Kizer.
Okay.
DeShone Kizer was somebody who was like, he's not ready for the NFL yet, and he came up one of the worst Notre Dame seasons.
First round, though, didn't he, Kizer?
Second, I think. I think he went second round. But it's still my point. It's like he went 4-8 and got drafted. It's very strange. Now, granted, I'm not saying that Notre Dame quarterbacks deserve to be drafted just because of pure bias. I didn't think Sean Kizer was ready for freaking the NFL at all. And it was proven right because he didn't do anything with the Browns. He didn't do anything with the Packers. And he ended up forgotten, honestly.
He's still in the league. He plays for Green Bay.
The Kizer's still in the league.
He is signed currently to the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
So he went second round in the 2017 draft. I believe that was same year as Josh Allen and Mahomes, I believe.
Huh.
No, Mahomes, I think, was 2015.
God, Mahomes has been around that long already. Oh my God.
Thank God. The faster we get through Mahomes in the NFL, the faster the league will be fun again.
But
that's crazy.
Like, if people say people don't make it in the NFL, they have a chance to go into the UFL and like hone their skills,
turn it around, yeah,
and then come back and get drafted in the NFL.
You mean
Mahomes was in the 2017 draft?
That's cool. I'm sure Mahomes was picked way earlier than Kaiser was, though.
Oh yeah, first round.
Yeah, I figured.
And Mahomes is only 28 years old.
God. Only 28? My back hurts, and I'm 26.
Yeah, my knees hurt, and I'm yeah, we're going to be dealing with Mahomes for a long time until somebody figures out how to beat him.
Yeah, because obviously the Steelers couldn't beat. We've beat them once or twice, but
I don't think we've beat them since they've had Mahomes, though.
Yeah, we have. I want to say we have.
I can tell you, Denver has. It took us 16 attempts, but we fucking did it.
Very true. I remember that because that was the one bet that you had that you fortunately didn't have to pay out on.
I'm more upset the fact that it didn't happen on the day that I said it was going to.
You talking about the skewer game?
Yeah, the skewer game.
Yeah. I still can't believe you did that.
Really? Because that's totally something I would do.
I mean, knowing more about you now it's not surprising, but like at the time.
Oh, Lord.
So yeah, that's pretty much the NFL draft in a nutshell. I mean, we could talk about Jeff's team. We could talk about the Cowboys.
Zeke's coming back.
I was about to say they got Zeke and they got Tyler Guyton. That's their draft.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got Lou Fowl from Notre Dame. I like him. Linebacker.
Is he a solid pick for them though?
I'd say he's a solid pick. I'm very interested to see where Benjamin Morrison is going to land, likely in next year's draft, if not the year after. Because Benjamin Morrison is probably one of the best secondary guys in all of college.
Excuse me.
But that's next season. We got a whole lot to talk about later on.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on the NFL draft?
Before we move on, I would like to say, who do you think's taking Shedeur Sanders at number 1 overall next year?
New England. I don't know how Drake May is going to do, so I may be out. It might be the Falcons, honestly, or the Jets.
Do you want to? I know it's early, but do you want to do early predictions on our? Oh my god, I can't even think. Our overall standings, win-loss record.
Oh, yeah.
With I mean, we won't officially know our 53-man roster until they make the cuts, but
right.
From what we've seen in the draft and the off season, who we picked up, who we dropped, and trying to be fair, a fair win-loss record.
Give me a 5-12 season and I'll be happy.
That's a sad state of affairs for a team that won a Super Bowl not even a decade ago. I can't go below 500. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are Steelers fans. I think the world collectively would lose part of its soul if the Steelers don't go 500 this year.
Every single year, it's all right, let's go. We're gonna make it to the Super Bowl. All right, well, we're not gonna make it to the Super Bowl. Let's make it our record for every year to stay above 500. And for the past 17 seasons now, we've been above 500.
The Steelers have not had a losing season since 2003. It has been 20 plus years.
Yeah.
If fucking Arthur Smith is the reason you guys don't hit that, I think we might go into the apocalypse.
We might.
Hell will freeze over.
Hell will freeze over. The waters will rise. Y'all watched.
I mean, they already
watched
rose
the
in
Dark Knight
Pittsburgh a
Rises.
couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Y'all watch the Dark Knight Rises. Bane's just gonna walk out to you guys' football stadium and blow it to hell.
Right?
Hey, at least Hines Ward still ran it back for a touchdown. That's all I care about.
You got a very valid point.
Weird to have him in punt or kickoff coverage, but that's beyond the point. Yeah, I'm gonna go 10-7. I feel like that's what I do every year because we're gonna lose some games really stupidly, just because that's what the Steelers do. We lose games that we shouldn't, and they're really dumb. And I feel like that's gonna happen again. For some reason, we can't beat New England no matter what, and that's super annoying. I don't even think we play them this year.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god! And you know what? Kenny Pickett can suck it for being a whiny little bitch because now he's second string quarterback to Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he wanted to be a starter, and then he got traded to the Eagles. Oh, I'm so happy to be the Eagles, bro. You're not starting before Jalen Hurts. You're just not.
Unless that offensive line absolutely crumbles because they don't have Kelsey, I think Hurts is still going to be fine.
Yeah, I think he will be fine.
So who did the Eagles draft out of Georgia this year?
Well, let's take a look.
They have a minimum of 1 to 2 people from Georgia a year.
They did not take a single person from Georgia.
This is
amazing. They took a couple people.
Eagles are displeased.
Yeah, they took a couple people from Clemson. They took somebody from Michigan, and their first round draft pick was out of Toledo. I've heard good things about Quinion. Right? Yeah, I've heard good things about him, so that's not overly surprising.
I believe he was cornerback 3 out of the top 3. So there was Terrion Arnold, there was DeJean, and then there was him, and then right below him was Kool-Aid. So, like, in terms of, like, their talent, I'm pretty sure.
All right, so the Steelers have the following teams that they play. They play the Ravens twice, the Bengals twice, the Browns twice, as always. We play the Cowboys this year.
Okay.
We play Kansas City. That'll be fun.
Oh, gee.
We play the Chargers.
Okay.
I mean, fortunately, we play Kansas City in Pittsburgh, so that's.
I mean, that might help us out a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. We play the Giants and the Jets. We play the Falcons. So that'll be interesting. Hey, look at that! We play Denver.
Yes, you guys do.
I
can guarantee.
I smell a bet coming on.
I smell a week 1 primetime game just because Russell Wilson's going to be coming back to Denver, and you guys are going to put up 50 fucking points on us. Because why not? Why wouldn't the scriptwriter want me to fucking suffer more than an hour?
That'd be funny.
They haven't announced the full schedule yet. I know.
No, I'm just looking at the teams who they're facing.
Yeah.
They also face the Colts, the Raiders in Vegas. Did we play the Raiders in Vegas last year, or was that 2 years ago?
We played them at home. I want to say it was
last year.
I want to say last year, but we played them at home, I think.
No, it says we're playing the Raiders in Vegas.
Yeah, Steelers.
I was talking about last year. I want to say they played at home.
Oh, did we play the Raiders
at home? They might have played in Las Vegas. I can't remember.
I'm looking it up real quick. No, it was in Vegas. 2 years in a row you guys are going.
Yeah, well. And we beat them last year, didn't we?
Yeah, we beat them last
year. You guys won.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember talking about it during the season because I think Greg said that you guys hadn't won in the Raiders Stadium in years.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they were also in Oakland. Like, Ben Roethlisberger could not win in Oakland.
No, oh my God, I remember that. He could never, like...
It didn't matter. It didn't matter how the Raiders were. We could not freaking beat them.
Just like the Patriots. I mean, yeah, they had Brady for the longest time, but look at last year. Look at that debacle.
But the thing is, we've beaten Brady a couple times.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, the Raiders were like so tough to beat. I don't get it. We also play the Eagles in Philly, so
All
that'll
right.
be
I
fun.
might be going to that game this year. I'm not too sure.
And the Commanders.
Yeah.
So.
The downfall that started it all.
It's interesting to me that we only have 8 home games and 9 away games. Weird. I mean, I guess some teams have to do.
Yeah.
I guess depends on how the math works, really.
Interesting.
But anyway,
I just want Denver to suck so bad that we've got a really good draft pick next year. Does Denver have a first round next year?
hopefully. Josh is willing to make a bet with you. He wasn't willing to make a bet with me last year, which we both. If we would have made the bet, we would have both been fine. Because we were going to make the bet if one of our teams was at the bottom of the AFC North, that we'd have to become a fan of the other team. Thing is, the AFC North, every single team was about 500.
Yeah.
Which was insane.
Yeah.
And granted, it was the Bengals who were in the bottom, but I'll tell you what, losing Joe Burrow is apparently a death knell for that team.
So I can tell you guys that as of right now, the Denver Broncos 2025 picks look like as follows. We hold the number 3 overall pick, the 35 overall pick, 67th, 99th, and the 163rd. We got 5 picks, but one of them is a top 5.
You have a very interesting leverage point right here, Maddie, with Josh for the Browns and Broncos game.
I mean, what is it?
I mean, he's saying basically make any bet and he'll accept it.
I mean, it depends on any bet. Am I making money?
The terms of the bet are on you. Like I want nothing to do with that.
No. All right.
So let's talk about the WWE draft.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
I don't know.
The thing that happened.
Yeah, I don't know how much there is to talk about. We could talk about some of the NXT call-ups. But as far as like major moves in the draft, there weren't that many.
I mean, honestly, me and JJ's mock draft was a lot better, I believe, on Saturday night, on open mic night, than the draft altogether. Even though apparently, according to NoDQ.com, that people in WWE were happy with how the draft came along. I mean, we got Ilya Dragunov on Raw, which is pretty cool. Kiana James on Raw. I think Dijak got boosted up to Raw too.
Dijak's on Raw, yep.
Blair Davenport is on SmackDown. I think Lyra Valkyria is on Raw.
Wait, Lyra got called up too?
Yeah, Lyra got called up on Raw.
Yeah, I think there was like 5. I think the 5 call-ups. Yeah.
Also, Baron Corbin's back on SmackDown.
Yeah, Baron Corbin's back on SmackDown. Yeah. So, I mean, let's see how hopefully him being down in NXT and reinventing his character, because it looked like he reinvented himself down in NXT. Hopefully that can carry that back onto.
Turn him into a babyface. Let him show that moveset.
I am hoping that they like throw like some random ass battle royal on the Backlash card and have Corbin win it, because Corbin got that massive reaction in France.
He did. I remember
the last time he was over there. So it seems weird to not like lean into that, especially if you want to have him be presented as a babyface.
Yeah, because he's been a heel his whole entire career. So
until the last couple months in NXT,
yeah, he got that. Oh, and Carmelo got to SmackDown too. Almost forgot about Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes was a first rounder.
Yeah. But yeah, Mansfield said, look, Gunther, Pete Dunne, Tyler, Ilya, Sheamus, Drew, Lyra. Oh my God, that screams European wrestling to me right there.
Why did I think
Midnight
Sheamus got drafted to
Internationals.
SmackDown?
No, he's staying on Raw.
Okay.
It's gonna be burger after burger after burger.
I absolutely love the memes that Drew's putting out right now. Even Sheamus the other day was like, I should be insulted, but this is good.
He was like, after King of the Ring, he wants to be known as the Burger King. I was like, I love Sheamus, dude. Sheamus needs to win that IC title.
Give Sheamus King of the Ring.
Well,
Again?
he's already won King of the Ring.
Yeah, he's already been King of the
Oh,
Ring.
no. The
only thing he's missing is that IC title, and that's perfect. Now that Sammy's on, now that the IC title is staying on Raw for the foreseeable future. So
I'm glad they didn't draft any champions. Like,
yeah, that was pretty cool how they protected the champions because it's like flippy floppy thing.
yeah,
Oh, I hated that shit. And they did it for like the last 2 drafts where they were just like, oh, they're getting put over to the other brand.
yeah.
We're going to shake it up. We're just going to put them on the other brand and switch the color belts.
But yeah, there's some pretty solid picks. Shayna Baszler, was Shayna on Raw? Yeah, Shayna was on Raw.
Yeah. Okay, so let me. I understand you have the draft, but why would you? I mean, yeah, you want to keep some of the people that you have on there, but why would you redraft the same people to the same brand?
I am of the opinion, and I've been this way for a couple years, that they should do the random draws like they did before. Like have people like compete in matches like Raw versus SmackDown, SmackDown versus NXT, Raw versus NXT, whatever the case may be. And then have people drafted to shows that way, because that opens up a lot of intrigue.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Like drafting people to the shows that they're already on is goofy. Never cared for it. I understand what they're going for. I do. I understand that they want to mimic the NFL draft, especially since it's around the same time now.
Yeah.
But you don't need to do it that way. Like,
no.
You could do the couple, like you could do the 2 draft nights, like you could do one on SmackDown, do one on Raw, but do it the way you did in the Ruthless Aggression era. That was way better.
Yeah.
Or what you could do is just like have a bunch of matches, and then once all the matches are done, like you have like a special on the network or something about people getting drafted. I don't.
Yeah, that'd be like have it like just have a special just dedicated to the WWE draft. You have rights to Peacock.
They did that a couple of years ago on the network, didn't they?
Maybe.
I don't think
they did like a draft central that went on after both Raw and SmackDown, where the draft continued after the show.
Yeah, they could do something like that, but yeah,
because that's where we got the great Kalisto promo.
Peacock. You're about to have a deal. You're about to go on Netflix here in the next year. You're gonna have all this time where you can like make it as long as you freaking want and just have it dedicated just for the draft itself, instead of, because like SmackDown, like you had like what 2 or 3 matches and that was it, and then the rest was the draft. Same with like Raw. Well, Raw they had to drag it out because it's 3 hours.
Yeah, just something different with the draft. Like it needs to. It's not exciting.
I saw Jerry Slaughter posted something like how the draft should just be for NXT and just draft NXT stars. I mean that's what they do already, but like I don't know.
Even that, like if you're doing it just for that, like just call them up the night after WrestleMania, or like the week after WrestleMania, whatever the case is, and then just leave it at that. Then you don't need the draft at all.
Now, what they really need to do, now that it's like kind of, it's the Paul Levesque era, or whatever you want to call it, Renaissance era, there 2 things need to happen. Stop this brand jumping thing. If you're on Raw, stay on Raw. If you're on SmackDown, stay on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And now that they have both world titles back active, they need to go back to having like Raw branded pay-per-views and then SmackDown brand pay-per-views, and then have both of them together on the big four, like SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series. But other than that, have your SmackDown branded pay-per-views again and have your Raw branded pay-per-views again, because now that Cody's officially WWE champion and a full-time player on SmackDown, they can happen again.
And with the Netflix split coming in January.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you think that they are going to have the pay-per-views on Netflix, the PLEs on Netflix?
I think so.
I think that's what I heard.
I think no. You know what? I think they're only going. I know Raw's going to Netflix, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, everything else is still going to be on Peacock as far as the PLEs, and people who are over in Europe and Mexico and wherever, they'll get everything on Netflix, because they'll officially get rid of the WWE network, and then people in Europe will go on Netflix for the PLEs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's international.
If I had read that correctly when they first announced it.
Yeah, I think internationally it goes like everything will go to Netflix.
Yeah,
but
we'll still have Peacock
until the Peacock deal runs out, I believe.
Yeah. And did you see that they're upping the Peacock? They're upping the Peacock subscriptions again, like in July.
It's becoming ridiculous with streaming services. Like,
it really is.
It's almost becoming. People are saying, "Oh yeah, cord cutting is cheaper than cable." It's almost not anymore.
Now.
It's almost the same for all the streaming services that you pay for. You're pretty much paying for cable.
Yeah, at that point, just pay for cable.
Yeah.
But it's becoming absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Soon enough, these marks will be able to use ratings as a relative thing again.
Yeah. They'll just use subscriptions to a channel, even if it's not applicable.
Right. Oh, man.
I have no idea why Matt Canada was trending on Twitter, but it seems like a bunch of people are talking shit.
Oh, I saw that. I was reading something saying, like, the Pirates need to fire Matt Canada now. I was like, wait, what?
I was like, well, that would explain why he wasn't good in football, that he was coaching the wrong sport. But, I mean, coaching for the Pirates doesn't seem like a tough job either.
Yeah.
Considering, I don't think it can get any worse. They started the season 5-0, and now they're at the bottom of their division.
Yeah, me and Cap were talking about that yesterday. What the fuck happened, Greg?
I'm not a Pirates fan. Don't look at me.
I
root for the Yankees, and they're only like half a game back in the East. Yeah, I'm not sure there why Canada was trending, but hey. We're rid of him. He's not our problem anymore.
Nope.
The bad man can't hurt you guys anymore.
You would think.
He'll haunt us in our dreams.
But yeah, Braun Strowman came back on Raw.
Yeah, he looks beefed up. There's rumblings going around that Eric Rowan officially re-signed with WWE.
I saw that, according to PW Insider, that Rowan is back.
Okay.
So, and those Uncle Howdy vignettes, they're looking pretty sharp.
So what do you think? Do you think it's going to be? I think Strowman's going to be out on his own.
I think so too.
I don't think it's going to be the Wyatt 6 per se. But we're going to get Bo. I think we'll see Alexa come back with him. And then probably Rowan.
Probably Rowan.
You know who they need to bring back and put in is Dexter Lumis.
That'd be interesting.
You know, I know back in like TNA, he was Samuel Shaw, and he was kind of like that. But like, he hasn't really done anything since he came back. And
he just pops up and helps Gargano, and then whenever it calls for it.
He hasn't even done that. And also, since Candice and Indy turned heel, like, where does he fit in? because the whole index thing was them becoming baby faces.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it'll be interesting to see this new iteration of the Wyatt family. I'm sure they'll call it the Wyatt family in tribute to Bray Wyatt.
Possibly. I don't know. That
Do you think they'll show up as soon as Backlash?
they could. I mean, none of them have a draft, but
Yeah.
none of them have been drafted at any brand.
So
No.
they could be fluid, like they could just go around and fuck shit up on either brand.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, be a quote unquote free agent.
Listen, Emmanuel, when I started getting into baseball, my dad is a Yankees fan, so that's how I got started, and that was early to mid '90s.
Oh wow.
So I have been a Yankees fan for almost 30 years. So fortunately, it was right as the Pirates were starting to get back.
I mean, kind of same thing with my Red Sox fandom. I should be like a full-fledged Rockies fan, but my father was a Red Sox fan my whole childhood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on the plus side, we've both got to watch our teams win multiple World Series.
You damn right.
Listen, even as a Yankees fan, I watched in 2004, and I was of the opinion that I was like, okay. They got it now. They can shut up. And then I realized
Greg was sitting there going, "Okay, little brother can have this." 2007, okay. 2012, you can stop now. Was it 12 or was it 13?
I think it was 13.
Yeah, 12 was the Cards, I believe.
I mean, the Yankees won one in between there. They won in 2009.
Yeah.
They haven't done a damn thing since, though.
No.
Well, that could be mostly like internal GM issues because, like, you guys bring talent over like hotcakes.
Yeah, nobody could hit on the team, though. That's the thing. Can we talk about how fun NXT Spring Breaking was last night? Obafemi versus Ivar was fun, and Natalia versus Lola Vice was so good. Obafemi feels like he needs to win everything.
Give him every belt.
Yeah,
Start it now.
And it's weird for me to root for somebody who used to play for the Crimson Tide, but he's so good. Lola Vice is just incredible. Like, I think she's going to translate very well to the main roster when that time comes. Especially, like, her gimmick reminds me of, like, Rosa Mendez, but King Russell.
Yeah. And Ivar is doing good as a singles wrestler.
Yeah.
Like nothing against Eric, but like when Eric does come back from his injury, which hopefully sooner than later, like they either need to like split up, but then Eric could get lost in the shuffle. But like Ivar is doing freaking amazing right now by himself.
Well, speaking of.
And I'm liking this because remember how back in the day when you know who was still around, if somebody got injured on a tag team, that other person wouldn't be around.
Yeah.
No, you would wait until both parts are healthy.
They would wait exactly.
You'd get lucky if you got a Rumble spot.
But speaking of the Viking Raiders, congrats to Eric and Valhalla because Valhalla is pregnant again.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
That's why I was saying like sooner than later. I'm like, if he can have a baby, he's got to be almost cleared to come back. So
yeah,
I mean,
well, he's having depending on how long.
He could just lay on his back, you know.
Yeah. Hey, that's all you got to do. She can do the rest. Oh man. Oh.
I'm not going into this conversation.
That's why I'm stopping right there.
That neck might not be able to move, but
oh my god, Matty.
Yeah, well,
we might be getting Mansfield too excited there. Are you doing dishes?
No.
He's like, but yeah, I mean, overall, I think both drafts did okay in the NFL and WWE. So we'll just have to see how they play out.
Well, this
It's
feels like
definitely a wait and see.
This feels like the first full year where the Triple H booking is going to be in full effect.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully it brings good stories onto both brands.
And like Josh did say, it splits up like the factions that were all feuding. Like Damage Control, Bianca and them are on different brands. Judgment Day and
but now we're gonna get Ray versus Dominic again.
Yeah, but
no, not really, because Dom's injured now too.
Oh yeah,
but
that's another thing. Injury bug is going around.
Yeah,
in both AEW and WWE. Yeah,
because Rhea's out, and we saw that. That's why Becky's champion right now.
Rollins is out for 2
Rollins
months.
is out. Rollins was working on basically,
on one knee.
On one knee, held together by Scotch tape and a prayer.
Yeah, because there was not even glue. Did you guys see that clip where he took the Superman punch and his leg just kind of flopped off to the side like that?
Yeah,
so, I had to go back and watch that like on TV because I couldn't even see it.
Well, dude, they never focused on Seth. Like they were trying to keep the camera off of him because Mans was using the chair to get to the ring.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when I said his leg was held together by, Scotch tape and a prayer. He's an atheist, so the prayer probably wouldn't have even helped him.
Yeah.
Josh is asking, did we notice Liv and Dom coming out of the same room during the Jey Uso promo?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff you got to pay attention to in this day and age.
Triple H was always thinking 3 steps ahead with TV.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I saw. Yeah.
Liv said she was going to take everything from Rhea.
And she's gonna take Dom next. Yo, tell me how much Dom resembles Eddie right now with the mullet and that mustache.
Oh yeah, he's.
Oh my god, he looks like 97 Eddie, like big time right now.
He just needs to be like a little more grungy to be 97 Eddie. Like he's even with the mullet and the mustache, he's still a little too clean cut to be 97 Eddie.
Oh, there's a pussycat.
Yeah, she was getting a little vocal.
What's around her neck?
So she got a spade and the little plastic. Yeah, the plastic e-collar was kind of a little more restrictive than they thought it was going to be for her.
Okay.
So Alora's coworker had a softer version of it.
Oh, okay.
And it's a shark. It's a little shark. So
she doesn't lick herself. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And it actually works. I was kind of worried that it wouldn't work the right way, but it totally has.
That's good. Mansfield Dom is a lucky man. Yeah.
I mean, TV-wise, like in character, yeah.
Yeah.
But Dominic's also married in real life.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know where one of my cats are sleeping. I don't know where the other one's at. My 2 pussies.
Well, since she got spayed, that's all she's done is try to sleep. And she'll get upset whenever we're not in bed.
Mm-hmm. Do you have 1 cat or 2 cats?
Just the one.
Oh, okay. I don't know how many you can have in your. You live in a house or an apartment?
A studio apartment.
Oh, studio. You might want to consider.
This is my house.
Oh, there you go.
There's the tour.
There's the tour. You might want to consider getting your cat a friend and having 2 cats, because that's the best thing that we could ever do. Because they're just gonna get bored. Especially if you go away, they're gonna want to have a playmate.
Yeah.
Just throwing the vibes out there. Just throwing the vibes out there.
Well, we were thinking about it, but she came, like, whenever we got her, she still came from the house that her siblings were living in.
Okay.
So she was still living with all of her siblings, so she didn't get near as much attention, if any.
Okay, gotcha.
So, you know, we're letting her be like the only child for a little bit. We might get another cat down the line, but for right now, yeah.
Yeah, and I totally get it. Yeah.
All right, so this is going to be the part of the show where I ask you guys for help. Really, to get the word out about this show, to get the word out about Jack of All Trades, to get the word out about Luck of the Draw. If you like the shows that you are watching on here, I say it. I've said it for weeks. I've said it for a long time over on Twitter. We can't do this show without your support.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the more people that you bring in to watch this show, and we can talk about anything and everything. We do some really weird stuff on here. We have really weird conversations, like Maddie imagining two WWE people having sex. Like we talk about stuff like that.
Okay.
Not all the time, granted, but we like to have fun on this channel.
Yeah.
So whatever you guys think, I want more people to be watching these shows. And I can share it as much as I want. We all can share it as much as we want. We got to bring people in that you think would be just falling in love with these type of shows.
Right. And it's all pretty much, well, I want to say word of mouth, but like you're saying, we can share as much as we want. So
exactly. And like sharing this on your social media, sharing it with your friends costs no money. Like we're not asking for financial donations like every single week. We just want you guys to share the show, spread the show around, spread this channel around, because we have something for everybody. If they don't like wrestling, fine. Luck of the Draw is right there. It has nothing to do with wrestling. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun. You don't need to know anything about the game you're playing. It's just show up, have a good time, maybe get a little messy. If you like wrestling, there's this show. If you like football, there's this show. Wrestling also on Jack of All Trades.
Hell, we even talk baseball sometimes.
Sometimes we just talk about random laws when we have the time, but we will get back to that at some point. But please, if you like this show, share it on social media. Tell your friends about it. Tell them like, hey, there's this guy on at 7 o'clock Eastern every single Wednesday talking about whatever you want to talk about. Typically, we have a format. Sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
It really depends on the week. But this is also a place where we love you. We don't care what. We don't care where you come from. We don't care what lifestyle you have. If you want to come and spend it with us, we love you. Come on in.
Unless you're a Chiefs fan, I'm talking to you, Tony.
Oh my God.
Or unless you've committed some very serious felonious crime.
Heinous. Yeah.
But anyway, share the show. Thank you very much for joining us. We will be back next week talking about more stuff, probably talking about more wrestling, probably talking about football, or we could talk about something completely different. Who knows? Until next week, for Big Baller G, thank you very much for joining. For Matty Laws, as always, I am Greg Cherry. Don't be a jag, and we will see you next week on the Greg Cherry Show. Have a good night.